Hi, my name's Mandy and welcome to What Mandy Made Next. Today I have some crochet, knitting and a quilt to share with you. Now, as you know, I like to participate in different crafts on each day of the week. And I usually have a little, month planner there with all my different projects, because I like to tick off as I'm going through what I've been up to. However, with Easter approaching, I decided I wanted to make this rabbit here. So this is from the book Cute Little Animals by Emma Varnam. And I crocheted 3 rabbits, 2 female ones for my 2 granddaughters and Jack Rabbit for my grandson. So yesterday, which was Easter Monday, which is a bank holiday in the UK, I went round and delivered all these rabbits to my grandchildren. So yeah, all my best laid plans just went straight out the window, and a lot of my time, crafting time, this last few weeks has been spent crocheting. So what I did yesterday is I took some footage of the rabbits that I made, and I thought I would show you these first. So this is the book I used. It's the Cute Crocheted Animals by Emma Varnam. So we'll go into a little bit more detail in a moment regarding the book. So let's start with the rabbit. This, got a thread on you. So this is Jack Rabbit. We use safety eyes as Emma suggested, and I'll pop a link in for you to the Amazon shop that I purchased these from. And then she suggests that you use embroidery thread for the nose and mouth. She does give a warning that if this is for a child under 3, then safety eyes should not be used. So anyhow, those are it, the jacket. I love this. It just looks like a little yellow waterproof coat, doesn't it? And it's so cleverly written. I mean, you can undo the coat with, these toddles. These are on a loop, you see. Yeah. Now, she uses toddles, but I had these in my mum's stash, and I thought it would be great to use these up. So, yeah. I do need to make him a jumper, but I didn't have time. So these are his trousers. They're all elasticated, so it's easy for little fingers to take these off if he wants to. He's got some blue matching pants on. Now I did run out of wool on the jacket, so this is the hood at the back, and I just need to crochet 3 more rows, but I've run out of wool. The whole idea was to stash bust. Because it's only 3 rows, I don't think it's going to make a difference if I just sew this up with some cotton, and that's his hood finished. I'm not going to, lose sleep over that. That's what I'm going to do. I haven't knit his hat yet, like I say, or his jumper, but he's good to go. This is his little rucksack, and again I've used a button from stash. I'm going to open this and all the eggs are going to spill out here, but those are I filled it with eggs for him. So yeah, the only problem I've got here is that I think these should be singular and not double. So I'm going to have to undo it and bring a strap up and sew that end there, so that there's only that, if you know what I mean, but it'll be bigger because it's not quite going across his back, you see. So that's my mistake. But isn't it fab? Absolutely fabulous. For the time being, because we're on a bit of a time schedule, he's just going to carry his bag, I'm afraid. But that's Jack all finished and done. Right, the next one is Emily Rabbit. Now I've used, let's get you out of the way, Jack. It's Emily's turn to have a bit of limelight. So I've made a mistake with this, and it's quite glaringly obvious. Well, it was after I sewn and finished it up, but I've sewn the legs on inside out. So that's the back side of the crochet, but I don't think she's going to really notice. This one's got pink pants on, and I'll take a coat off first of all so you can look at a dress. So this is the pinafore. This is for Emily Rabbit. You got your trebles, double crochets, and then you got this lovely edging shell pattern for the edging. Absolutely beautiful. This again was from Stash. This coat, if you remember, I made the Floralia blanket quite a while ago. So this is Stylecraft Storm Blue. And I've used some red buttons from Stash and matching ones on the pinafore. I've got one button left to use up. So that's the coat, and then the hat matches the coat. This is in, like I say, the Storm Blue colourway from Stylecraft. Now, in the book she has a pom-pom on. I still toying with the idea of a pom-pom or maybe a little flower at the side. I don't know yet, because I've got one more button and I thought that would look nice in the centre of the flower. So we'll see. I'll put a link into a great tutorial I saw on YouTube on sewing heads onto the animal's body, because the first one I made, it was very wobbly, so I found if I popped a knitting needle through the head and into the body to steady the head while I sewed it to the body, and I've gone round twice with stitches. So that's Emily, and here is Emily's bag. Again, I've picked up the same colours as the coat and the Wellington boots. Sorry, I don't know if I showed you the wellies, but these come off. So yeah, this is in the tomato colourway of the Stylecraft. It's all double knitting. Now I think this bag should have been made out of 4-ply, but I used double knitting. The idea is to get rid of my stash. So I've picked up the colour of the Wellington boots and the coat and hat. And that is full of Easter eggs. So yeah, it goes quite nicely on the shoulder actually. It's like a little shoulder bag, as you can see. Yeah. Right, let's do the next little rabbit. Last but not least, Emma also suggests if you want, you can actually embroider some eyelashes on as well. So this one has got matching pants to a dress. This is in, I think this is called the, is it Vintage Apricot? But it's in the apricot colourway by Stylecraft. And I used a couple of buttons, odd buttons I had in Stash. I think these are my mum's actually. I crocheted some shoes on. I think I've overstuffed the legs a bit. They're a bit edematous looking with these shoes. Now the shoes, it does say to slip stitch round the edge. And I think that's made them a little bit tighter. So if I did this for this particular rabbit, if I made shoes again, I perhaps wouldn't slip stitch. I don't know yet. The other thing is, I might finish this off with some little ribbons just to finish off the shoes. But they're great. It's great fun, especially if you like making stuff. You know, you can like put buttons on if you like designing, you know, ribbons, crochet little flowers, anything really. It's great. These should have bows on, but I've just left them because time is of the essence. Now the jacket is, I think this is Vintage Peach by Stylecraft, and I used some buttons I purchased in Hobby Lobby. So yeah, whoops, there we go. Now this cardigan is actually not for the rabbit, it's for the cat, what's in the book. But Emma does say in the preface that you can use any of the animals' wardrobe for any of the animals. So the cat in this book had this lovely little jacket, so I've used this for the rabbit. So yeah. I did have a problem again with the collar, and I think it's the way I'm sewing up the raglans. I'm used to sewing raglans in a certain way, so I just need to fathom that out. But I did put some extra stitches in just to make sure it turned out okay. But you can see the shape of the collar with these long trebles. So yeah, I think it's great. I think she looks fabulous. So yeah, there we go. So she's all ready to go, and this is her little bag. So again, I've picked up the peach, the apricot, sorry, which are her shoes and a pinafore dress. This is just a cream. And then the peach, which picks up her cardigan, and again the apricot for the rest of the bag. It's the same on the back, and we've got some little Easter eggs in there. The good thing about this as well is that if I want to make some little gifts, you know, little Christmas tree fillers, whatever, I can just make some more clothes and bags and things, so they can play with the rabbits and they can dress them. So here we all are, ready to go. And yeah, just going to finish sewing up Jack's hood, and then I'm going to wrap them up and take them up to see my grandchildren. Explained in that little clip, the book I used was Cute Crochet Animals by Emma Varnam. Now this is a paid for book, but I'll just show you some of the animals that you can make. The good thing about this is it doesn't matter which animal you make, you can actually pick out of the wardrobe what you want to dress your animal in. So you know, if there's an outfit for the mice, those will fit the foxes and the cats and the rabbits. It really is a fantastic book. There is so much in it. I paid, I think it was £13. I think my partner got this off Amazon, which isn't bad, £13 sterling. But just look at all this. I love it. Now let me show you some more. When you crochet the trousers, there is a little gap what you leave for tails. I haven't put the tails on the rabbits yet, I just didn't have time. But I would like to make the dungarees. And just look at this cardigan. I want to make that. I really do. I'll bring it up a bit closer and then you can see. Just look how beautiful that is. I think this one was made out of 4-ply wool, if I remember. There's a couple of cardigans. I love this poncho as well. I'd like to make that. What else? Oh yeah. Now, I made each of my granddaughter's rabbits the dress with the shell edging, but I'd also like to make that one, and that's got an embroidered edge. So yeah, I think these are great little stocking fillers as well for them. There's lots of accessories you can make which will fit all the animals, and yeah, and you get lots of good information here, all about stuffing, safety eyes, basic stitches what are used in the book, the crochet stitches. It's absolutely fantastic. Now I made them, those little bags, that's two little bags I made, look. So yeah, I'm just amazed. I really am. I mean, I'm not a great, should I say, I'm not brilliant at crocheting toys and amigurumi. It's just not my thing. But I managed this, and there are tutorials by Emma Varnam on YouTube. So all you need to do is just Google in a name on YouTube, do a search, and she comes up. Now there's a couple of tutorials. I think there was one on the making the ears, and also the legs, the way the legs are crocheted, and then you start the body. So she also has there's a Facebook group as well. So yeah, there's plenty of help on there. You see, look at all that. You see, now I made that knapsack. It was for the bear, but I made that for the rabbit. And I just filled the bags, like I say, with little Easter eggs. And yeah, it was great fun. You see, I did make, I think I made that knapsack incorrectly, but still. But yeah, all these little accessories as well, little shoes, and oh, I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. But to make 3 rabbits was a big, you know, it took up a big chunk of my crafting time, a lot more than I thought it would do. And boy, did my fingers and wrists complain after all that marathon crocheting. But they're done, and they've been delivered, and they've brought a lot of delight. So what else have I been up to? So I've also been crocheting the spring frost blanket, which is a crochet along, which finished now, but I'm still crocheting. It was by Lucy from Attic 24. So I'm on section 5 now. I think there's 7 sections, but I'm working on section 5. So I'll just show you quickly some of the stripes in that blanket, because the colours, I love them. They're absolutely beautiful. And this is all crocheted in double knitting style craft. So we call it double knitting, but even though we're crocheting. So let me find, I've got some ends to weave in, but here's the start. And these colours are meant to emulate a spring frosty morning. Absolutely beautiful. I love this. Just love the colour combinations. I would never have thought of anything like this. I just, yeah. And sometimes it goes pale, like you've got this lovely colour here, mushroom, and then this is like a blue marled colour, blue and white. And then we've got the pale pink, and then I think this one's a duck egg blue. And then we go straight into a meadow colour. And I think this is powder blue, pistachio. And then you'll have a pop of white for the frost. And then these beautiful heathery colours, wisteria, and I think that one's Parma violet. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'm just loving this. I'm just doing the size, you know, the single size blanket. It's quite a big one, and you know, very long so far. I mean, this is section 5. So I'm presuming section 7 will be the borders. So quite a few more stripes to add in there. So I'm just hoping I got enough wool, because I did buy the whole yarn pack. So yeah, I've really enjoyed crocheting on that spring frost blanket. And I'll usually work on that of an evening sometimes if I'm watching television downstairs. It's lovely just to sit there relaxing, crocheting that blanket. So yeah, that's my spring frost blanket. You may recall I was knitting a cardigan for my grandson. So I've picked that back up. The pattern is from the Ambud Book of Sweater Patterns. And I'm knitting a saddle shoulder construction. Now the wool, and it is, oh, it's showing quite bright there. This is what I would class as an Air Force blue colour. That's what we used to call it, an Air Force blue. So it's a bit more grey blue than what it's showing up. Okay. Now I am playing a bit of yarn checking because this is the last bit I've got left. And the manufacturer is Bergère de France, and the range is, I think it's Ideal, and the colourway is Persan. Let me just check on that for you because I don't want to give you the wrong information. Yes, it's Ideal. So there's the ball band. It's a double knitting wool. So I had this in my stash, like I say, and I want to get my stash down, which has reduced a lot since I've crocheted those rabbits. So what I did is I've got this far, decided to knit this in a garter stitch. So my swatch was knit and garter stitch, and this is the construction. You can't quite see it there, can you? Let me see if that's better. So this is the front. I've picked the V-neck, and as you can see, this is the saddle bit, and that's how it is constructed. Now I didn't quite like it. I don't know what it is with me. If I knit stocking stitch, it's quite neat, but when I knit garter, it's never as neat. Never has been. I don't know what it is with me. But you know when you're not too happy with something, and again, you know, sewing garter stitch together when you're sewing the sleeves, it doesn't look as neat as I'd want it to. But maybe when I've washed and blocked this will be a lot neater. I'm hoping that the stitches will embed. I decided on a 2x2 rib. That's the beauty of this Ambud book. You can pick your own patterns, whatever you want to do. You pick your style, and you can pick your own rib. Oh, I love it. I love designing my own, you know, little patterns here. So I decided on a 2x2 rib. And like I say, I got this far, and I just wasn't feeling the love. So I thought, before I knit any more of it, I'll see what my daughter thinks. So the other week I took the cardigan up to my daughter's, stayed, you know, I was staying for tea, so tried it on him and it fitted a treat, and she liked it. So yeah, I thought, great, I'll carry on. I'd already knit the other front, so that was done. So what I've been doing since I last spoke to you is knitting the sleeve, and here we go. You see, I don't know what's happened here with the gauge, because the sleeve's gone very wide, but it fits him okay. I'm just starting the actual binding off now for the shaping of the top of the sleeve, so I'm really hoping that this will be enough wool. Now this is showing a little bit more true to colour. So the ball wasn't. Can you see how light the ball looks compared to that? And they're the same colour. Very strange. But this is showing, like I say, more true to colour. So when I've finished the sleeve, I'm hoping I'll have enough wool left for the bands, you know, the buttonhole and button band what goes round the cardigan. Now, if sadly there isn't enough wool, then I'm going to have to put my thinking cap on and probably look at using some black yarn from Stash and just sort of doing a black band, I'm afraid to say, but I'm hoping I will have enough. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll show you on my next vlog, because I shall work on that definitely. My next knitting project, oh sorry about that, is in this bag. I'm going to be making some project bags as well, and I might be making some for giveaways, so yeah, keep your eye out on this channel for that. Right, here's the pattern. This is a little dress for my granddaughter. There's a lot of selfless knitting going on, isn't there? Here we go. So this is an old pattern I had. It's the Peter Pan one, and you can see it's a beautiful little dress. So this is P427, and originally it was knit in the Darling range double knitting. Now I'm talking, this is quite an old pattern. I bet it's over 30 years old. So I'm pretty sure I knit this for my eldest daughter, and she's 43. She'll be 43 this year. So that tells you how long this goes back. But anyhow, yeah, I'm knitting this in a James Brett wool. I think I got that wrong last time. So it's called Twinkle. I'll bring that up. That's showing light as well. That's a Twinkle double knitting wool, and I got this from Wool Warehouse, and I ordered 400 grams of that because a lot of the wool is taken up in the skirt. And the contrast is called Baby Twinkle. That's in the cream colourway, and that is also by James Brett. So the sparkles, let me see, you can just about make out on the green, but both of them I got this sparkly wool. So last time I spoke to you, I had completed the back. See? Can you see how much has taken up now? It's quite a bit of knitting there. And now this is the front. Oh no, this is the back, sorry, I do apologise. This is the back. And what will happen is... oh, is it the back or is this the front? I better be careful. Yeah, this is the back. And what will happen is I will pick up stitches here and here, and there'll be a white, well, cream band for the buttons and the buttonholes, and then also the collar will be in cream. So once I've finished the cardigan, I will then start knitting the sleeves for this. So I'm on good tracking with that one. I'm quite pleased with my progress. So that's that. Obviously it's a double knitting acrylic wool, and it's knit on 4mm. Right, okay. So it's all the jumble, because usually I know when I'm going Monday, Tuesday, but it's all gone to pot obviously this month with crocheting those rabbits. Right. My next project is a little mini one I was making just before I started crocheting the rabbits, and this is Mrs Cottontail. So this is a kit I purchased from Liberty Bell. Any shops or any information will be all provided in links down below in the description box, and so you can click on the links, and I'll put one in for Liberty Bell, it'll take you straight there. But this is the kit, and this is Mrs Cottontail. And yeah, this is the one my daughter also bought me one for my birthday. So yeah, I've got 2 kits. So I thought I'd make her one. So I started Mrs Cottontail. I've got to do something with her ears yet. She has got pipe cleaners in them. But I think they've got to be sewn together in a certain way and then styled. So I've got to sort that out. But she's so cute. And I love her dress. She's just minus her babies at the moment and her pinafore. Now I did make a boo-boo with this one. I should have cut out the pattern and then put the pattern pieces for the legs together and then cut the legs out as one, and I didn't, so I've had to sort of joint the legs, but never mind, everything is okay. It's just that little mistake I made. So yeah, this is Mrs Cottontail so far. She's got pipe cleaners in her ears, so I've just got to sort those out. Make sure that they're taking the ear space up correctly. And yeah, so you can bend them. But I do know that you have to put a stitch in together, so those will be sorted. And then this week I'm hoping to make her pinafore, finish off her little babies and pop those in the pockets. So yeah, I've enjoyed making Mrs Cottontail so far, and she's been sat there in the craft room here watching me make the other rabbits. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Right, I'm just looking at my project book to see if there's anything else I've missed. Yes, some cross stitch. Now, I haven't been stitching much, and boy have I missed it. I've got a Heaven and Earth design on the go, my mini sea beacon, and I haven't stitched on that at all. Because sometimes when what I call seasonal crafting, or you're making something for someone in a specific time frame, then everything else has to be put on the back burner. Now, this is my Kringles. I've left it in the hoop, which is very naughty of me. And I've only got that little bit in the corner to do. You see there, and I've finished it. Now, saying that, when I vlogged last time, I actually did a close-up of this work, and when I played it back, I'm looking at it and think, oh, those stitches look awful. So I think it was some on some Christmas trees I didn't like. They don't look bad from here, but when they were close up, I just didn't like them, so I'm just going to have a look at those. Now, you probably remember that I was talking about some gold. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. This gold, I split some gold pearl. So at the time I didn't have any Krennic. I don't think it looks too bad when I look at it now. So I might keep it, see how it goes. See what I'm thinking. But I just need to finish that little corner, which I might do tonight actually. And then give it a good press. And then we'll see where we are. But that is my Kringles, and it's nearly finished. So I'll be able to show you that next week, next vlog. I've been asked by a family friend to make a commemorative quilt for her granddaughter. Now, she's got 4 grandchildren now, and the other 3 grandchildren, I made them all quilts when they were babies. So it's been an absolute pleasure to do this. She asked me to make the quilt in a lilac and grey colourway. I decided to use the pattern. It's called Disappearing 9 Patch, and I'll put this on the design board for you to show you what I mean. So basically these are 5-inch squares, and you just make a block So you sew 3 by 3. Now you need an accent, to choose an accent colour, because this will be cut into 4, so these will appear as little squares. So I've chosen white. If you have a fabric that you were fussy cut, or it's a big flower on, say, and you don't want to cut it, then you need to make sure that those are on your outer 4, because what you do is when you have sewn your 9 squares together, you're going to cut down the middle there, and you're going to cut across there. So as you can see, this one will get cut, and this one, and this one. So now you can see that I've cut the 9 patch up. All I do is rotate 1/4 turn clockwise. So this one goes that way. I turn this one 1/4 that way. The same here, and the same here, and that's completely different now. And then you sew that together and that together, and that's your new block. I'll show you some of the quilts that I've done. Now as you can see, that is the middle. You know when I was saying about the accent colour, and I chose a white, well, it's not plain, it's got a little floral design on, but those are meeting up now. Can you see? And I just think it makes a really pleasing pattern. So that's my 9 patch. Now I'll show you what I have made. A label. I've got an embroidery machine, so I was able to do the words on the embroidery machine. However, my sewing machine also has an embroidery facility, and for some reason I'd bought some lilac pearl cotton, and I was going to blanket stitch, which I wish I had done around the quilt label just to finish it off, but then I decided, oh, I'll use my fancy stitch on my sewing machine to sew the label on. And I got to the last side of the label, and it just wouldn't go through, and it jammed, and unfortunately trying to unpick this label was just a no-go. So I thought, oh, all that work. So I've had to pop a ribbon on there, because underneath there was a little bit of a hot mess there. So I've popped a ribbon on, and I've sewn a little button on, and she seems quite pleased with it. So yeah, so that's my quilt so far. So I've just got to sew on the last row, which take about an hour to complete that, and then I shall quilt it. I'm going to use my sewing machine, but I'll pop a walking foot on and quilt the layers together, and then once that is completed, yeah, I'll do the binding, and then hopefully next time I see you I'll be able to show you the completed quilt. So that's where I am with that. So yeah, I think that's everything I need to show you and talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. It's been a bit of a here and there one. I do apologise, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, leave me a comment below, and hope to see you next time. Bye.